alive.
I love being alive too. Yes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan. I am your DM. As usual, I think I've only ever been your DM on this show, but maybe one day I won't. I use he, him pronouns. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll do one of you will DM.
Yeah. That sounds fun. Anarchy.
Yeah. I use he, him pronouns, and yes, I'm here to guide the story along and then pass over to the players for their intros. So I'll do that now.
My name's Claire. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Little Creature. I'm following Lovelace.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I'm playing Lovelace, Centaur Mistake Maker. I made mistake. I'm gonna start plugging my Twitter if that's okay.
Yeah.
You can follow me on the internet, on the tweet site, at Jovial Thunder.
Very good. Claire, do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I just like that name. That's
Yeah.
a good name.
Yeah, I recently rebranded to it. I chose it.
Awesome. Is that it? That's a recent thing? Did you used to have one that was Crescent
Yeah, so I
Loom,
used to have like this naming scheme with like Wick this, Wick that,
Oh, yeah.
like the Wick Cliff,
Mhm.
and I am slowly separating out my online identities and my personal identities instead of just having all tangled up and getting all my external validation from strangers on the internet.
Excellent. All right. Well, with that, let's jump back into the story, shall we? So last time, when we actually first started this brand new arc, we found Lovelace, the Centaur Barbarian, making her way across the rolling hills of the Sword Coast towards the Wood of Sharp Teeth. And we could see this writhing horde of gnolls far off in the distance and the dark forest looming ahead of Lovelace. Lovelace was pursued by this ravenous band of gnolls as they tried to capture her, eat her, who knows, but they were pursuing her with great vigor. But luckily, Lovelace was able to evade them and escape into the woods. Upon entering the woods, Lovelace had visions in the night of the ethereal currents pulsing before her through the ground, leading to what appeared to be a single large ethereal tree with wisps of light pulsing out the tops of the branches into the darkness above. When Lovelace awoke, she could see a faint glimmer of this light pulsing in the ground, heading north-northeast. Lovelace decided to follow it. Upon heading in that direction, probably about later in the day, a bit past noon, late afternoon, Lovelace heard the sound of a fight in a clearing up ahead. And looking into this clearing, Lovelace saw a gnoll fighting a hobgoblin. She took the side of the hobgoblin and helped this hobgoblin defeat this gnoll that was crying out and lashing out at both of them. All the while, Little Creature was hiding in the trees above, this small little goblin, watching it all happen. And both of you, just before the gnoll was killed, saw that there was something in the bushes that scurried off. A small baby gnoll that ran off, a pup. Upon killing this gnoll and talking with the hobgoblin, you learned the hobgoblin was part of a unit of Flaming Fist that was captured or destroyed, and she was the only survivor fleeing into the woods when she encountered this gnoll, and they both started fighting each other. Lovelace, you found a clutch, a little litter of pups, and quickly started to realize that this gnoll may not be just a demonic beast. There seemed to be something else going on. And talking with Little Creature is being very...
Natural cycles of reproduction?
the little creature revealed maybe that he knows a bit more about the forest, and also
Whatever.
revealed that he was looking for Lovelace. Um, as you both headed northward, the hobgoblin joining you for just a small period, and eventually she broke off, saying she needed to find her way back to Baldur's Gate. You both found yourselves alone and started to talk to each other, and you started to learn a bit about Little Creature, and this is when Little Creature revealed that he was looking for you and found you, Lovelace. And as you toddled off into the forest with Little Creature just prattling away things about their life and the forest, I think listing the different animals that lived within and things of that nature.
She said she wanted to know. She wanted me to list everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm working on it.
Yeah. And as we heard this little conversation going on, we pulled out and saw the two of you going off into the forest and this great mass of trees going off into the distance. But with that, let's pick up right there as Lovelace and Little Creature are making their way northeast through the forest. And I do need to acknowledge what Operation said. I had that exact thought when the episode ended last time. I was like, oh shit, this is like big bad origin story right here.
Big Bad, excuse me?
Or
thinking, like,
maybe not Big Bad.
PC down the road.
Or PC. Yeah, true.
If Lovelace ever like hits like retirement age and is just like out in
Uh-huh.
a pasture somewhere in her old age, one day from out of the woods, and Noel will come.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And Lovelace will be like, "What?" It's like, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're just a monster. Is that what you said to her?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait, that sounds great.
It does. It does. All right. Well, with that, so you both are going northeast through the woods. You both are welcome to have a conversation here if you'd like. Let me know what you would like to do, if anything. Yeah, I'll open it up to the two of you.
And yeah, so I dig into my pocket and pull out a handful of acorns. The Song of the Pileated Woodpecker gave these to me like several seasons ago, but they're really useful for carrying around and throwing at things. I'm a pretty good shot. So if you ever want me to throw
Little
anything,
creature. Okay, that's enough. I think I got it. I think
okay.
I'm starting to understand. Also, I'm getting a headache. Can we just walk for a bit?
Sure.
Unless you have anything for headaches.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Have you been drinking enough water?
Probably not.
You should drink some water.
Let's find a stream. Okay. It's about time for a break. And then starts looking,
Okay.
I guess, just like going downhill.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Can I aid?
Yeah. You can make it with advantage, or yeah. So go ahead.
+5. Hi. That's 2 natural 2s.
Wow.
So that's a 7. I think the dice are starting off pretty clear here tonight.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you little creature, how do you aid?
Well, with that roll, it's gotta be unhelpful. I start making water sounds.
Okay.
Like to, call the water.
And I think like Lovelace is distracted enough that maybe like she doesn't realize that like little creature's making those sounds from behind. And she's like, okay, I think I hear it coming from like over here, but it's like to the right. It's still to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I need to go up over this thing.
Yeah, I think the sound effects that little creature are making are like just quiet enough that they kind of get drowned out as you start to move and you like go up over a little ridge and then stop and listen, and then you hear it again to your right and you turn and start going in that direction. And it's just ends up being
just came from.
And eventually, Lovelace, you do make one of those turns and you just see little creatures sitting there making these sounds.
You think that's helpful, do you?
Yeah, makes me think about water.
Uh-huh.
Um, little.
I think Lovelace just like throws like her spear down into the water and like not water,
Uh huh.
Oh yeah,
just
it's
like
here now.
the dirt,
Uh huh.
and just kind of like collapses on top of this like ridge or whatever. Like the sun's beating down. She feels awful. She's thirsty. She's dehydrated.
Hmm.
Probably like have a canteen, but it's like not enough for like a full like drink. Like we were maybe running a little bit short.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's just like sitting in the sun, feeling sorry for herself.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get up on a little ridge where the trees parted, and there's like a clearing, so you can see the forest stretching out before you. But it's pretty big, so you can't really see the borders at this point. You are definitely within it.
What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
I don't know that. I thought you would know that. Do you not know?
I thought I did.
What were you thinking?
It's really easy sometimes to. Sometimes you just see a path and it feels good to just go the shortest route, cleave your way through with power and precision. Because you can, because it's worked out before.
So are you saying that you've ignored a path?
No, I followed the path, and that's how I got here. Gestures around to the dust. Look at me now. Hasn't this turned out great?
What are you looking for?
Turns to little creature. Just like rounds her huge mass. I broke a tree a long time ago. It was a special tree. And since then, I've been having these goddamn hallucinations of silvery wires, networks, and it just seems so gosh darn easy that I could just go to the source of it and cut it off or use it or figure it out what's going on. That's how it was supposed to be.
Who told you it was supposed to be like that?
Who told you that you were supposed to find me?
Oh, that wasn't so much anyone telling me as me deciding that that was a great idea.
You and I, we are alike. We're not too dissimilar. How has that worked out for you?
Great, I found you.
Yeah. Why isn't it working for me?
Are you looking for the wrong thing?
How would you even know that?
Well, how would you? Maybe if you look for the thing in all of the places that you would expect it to be and it's not there, then maybe you're just looking for the wrong thing. But then also it might be that you're looking on all the wrong places. Have you tried giving up yet?
And here we are, to the present,
Okay.
in this
okay,
dust.
Cool.
I can't give up, though. I can't give up. Like, I I've given up too many things to be here to give up. That makes sense?
You're feeling like you've sacrificed a lot to get here.
Yeah. That people, it was so easy to walk away from those things
Well, yeah,
with
you've
that
got 4 feet.
confidence because I was so sure I'd find it here.
Huh.
And like, if I give that up, does that make those mistakes that I was wrong to walk away? Folks needed my help, and I decided that this was more important.
I think that you're associating giving up with failure.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Sometimes you need to give up in order to figure out what's going on. Have you ever seen a horse?
Enlighten me.
Okay, so you know how sometimes people put clothes on their horse?
You're on thin ice, but continue.
No, but like sometimes they put stuff like on their faces and such, and they sometimes have like these little, I don't know, pieces of wood on either side of the horse's eyes, and so it can't see stuff that's going on over here. It can only see stuff that's going on here.
Yeah.
Maybe you got those on.
Well, then I gotta knock them off. Ain't no giving up. Like, giving up would just be accepting that they're there.
Nah, I think that you could just turn your head around.
You've lost me, little one.
Nathan,
Sorry, little one, someone else.
It's okay. It really doesn't matter.
Nathan, have I heard of or seen the silver neurons that Lovelace is talking about?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
I'll whisper it to you.
Okay.
I can also just plug my ears.
No, because I also don't want the audience to hear this. So
Okay.
you're
They can
good.
plug their ears too.
Okay, audience, take your headphones off.
Gotta promise now.
I'll whisper it to you. So
Okay.
Sometimes, if I'm looking for something really hard, or I want something a whole lot, and it's just not coming to me and it's just not working, if I give up, sometimes I'll realize I didn't need it in the first place. And sometimes it'll just kind of happen when it's ready to happen, and, you know, then I get it. I don't know if this is helpful at all.
It must be nice to be able to give up and get the things that you want anyway.
Yeah, it is.
That's not how things work, though. You have to work.
Have you tried?
No, because then you stop
Well,
moving. And to stop moving is to die.
You're not moving right now. Well, I guess you're moving some things.
All right, fine. Let's give up.
Okay.
This is me. I'm on this mountain.
It's more of a hill.
Ain't no trees here. You brought me here. Whatever you are. Silver path. Ghost hauntings. Strange hands. Grasping. Hope you didn't want me to go all the way, because that ain't happening. This is where I am. Is this how you give up? I'm not very good at it.
You're really working hard here. I feel like
No.
you should work a little less hard.
Work a little less hard. How do I get better at working less hard? How can I train to do that?
No. Do you want to come meet one of my friends?
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So I'm gonna get back up and start trotting in the direction of the Song of a Pileated Woodpecker.
Okay.
Do they have water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, little creature starts going down the hill, back into the brush and into the forest. You follow Lovelace?
Yeah, I'm feeling the weight of the road and all the running and the fighting. I just prop myself up on the spear, pack it up, just start trotting, clunk, clunk, clunk,
Okay.
down this rocky mountainside.
Okay. Yeah. Going down the kind of rocky hill that you're on, you eventually get back into the trees and you both start going off into the day. Little creature, you know it's going to probably take you at least 3 days to get there, but, you know,
we
you're
have
on your
time.
way. Yeah. So,
Lovelace feels hollow. It's like I have failed, I think. And she is just like responding to anything that little creature might be doing with just like grunts
okay.
or like monosyllabic
Perfect.
words.
Well, as you start to travel again, you seem to be going kind of north. Lovelace, why don't you roll a d20 for me? I know you love doing this.
Love doing this. Third 2 in a row today.
Okay. As the day comes to a close, and the forest is beginning to get quite dark as the sun sets to the west, you both hear some brush up ahead being pushed aside and creatures moving through it. What do you both do as you hear something is approaching through the forest coming in your direction?
I just keep going.
Okay. Lovelace?
Lovelace is just too tired. It's
Okay.
like, if it's gonna mess with us, I'll just mess it up. I think like lazily rests one of her hands on the hilts of the short swords.
Okay. As you continue going forward, little creature just going straight on towards the sound, slightly off to your side. You eventually see a branch get pushed aside as you see a large bugbear step through. And behind them, you can see there's 2 other figures with something slung over their shoulder. This bugbear pushes the branch aside and then stops, noticing the 2 of you. Sees you first, Lovelace, and then looks down and sees little creature wave. Kind of. And they just hold the branch off to the side and just start ignoring little creature. And you see 2 more bugbears come out from under this thick branch, and they have what looks to be a fresh deer strung up on a pole as they're going through the woods. Do either of you do anything?
Nicely done, I say in Goblin.
The one holding the branch looks over their shoulder at you. Thanks. And as they get through, the branch just kind of slaps back. And you notice now it's more of like a sapling that they were holding off to the side. And they turn and just kind of give 2 of you a look over as the other 2 are walking. And little creature, you can tell, like, these are like young bugbear that are coming back from a hunt. They seem to, as they are like going through and they see Lovelace, you see they seem to kind of like puff their chests up a bit, like try to stand a bit taller. And the other one, like, you see them kind of flexing a little as they're walking behind the other 2 looking at Lovelace. And these just like 3, like probably male bugbear just like walk by as they're all just kind of holding their chins up, holding their fresh kill. And they just kind of slowly go past the 2 of you.
Lovelace is attached to being dour,
Mm-hmm.
which just makes, it funnier.
Mm-hmm.
And like, she can't help but like crack a little bit of a smile, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She really doesn't want to. But
You do see the one at the back as the other two kind of start to go off, and they eventually look forward at where they're going. But the one at the back that's just been keeping an eye on you, Lovely, so you like crack that smile and you see them stop. And then they turn and they keep going.
Oh boy. Friends of yours?
Nope, never seen him before. I think you're hot, though.
Great. Love that. At least I got that going for me.
Evidently.
Okay.
Carry on.
All right. You carry on, and the sun eventually sets, and you are in the dark. You're welcome to keep traveling in the dark or take rest. Up to you.
How do you feel about darkness? And rest?
No. I'm so tired. Nothing means anything. I don't need to take care of my body.
Well, that's just a lie. Well, I guess you don't... If you don't take care of your body, you will eventually die. And I'm not sure if that's what you want. Most people don't want that. You're a little weird, though.
Not sure that I will.
Okay, let's keep going then.
Okay. So you-
Because we're gonna...
Let's get the level of exhaustion, baby.
I was about to say, yeah, okay, so you're going to push through the night. I mean, technically both of you need to make constitution saving throws as you push through the night. So, and why don't you go ahead and roll another d20 for me, Lovelace, as you go through the night.
Alright, so here's the con saving throw first.
Yeah, let's start with the con save.
That's a 10.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. I think it's just a DC 10 for the first night, I believe.
30-20.
Then you're both fine. So you...
Or 2 for the d20 roll.
Roll a d4 for me. It's gonna be another 2.
It's a 3, actually. Oh god, so today I've rolled 2, 2, 2, 4, 2.
Yeah. All right. Pushing through the night. It's quite an interesting... I mean, I don't know. I guess, Lovelace, you've been in a forest at night, but it is, you know, it's such a different experience than the daytime as you walk through this forest. It does become a bit quieter. There's more of just like periodic calls of animals in the forest at night as you push through the underbrush. Everything seems to become just more like muffled and quiet in this darkness. And every once in a while above, you can just see the twinkle of stars and faint moonlight catching the rims of the leaves. But as you go through the night, nothing else, you don't run into anything else, nothing bothers you until eventually you start to see that faint bit of yellow light appearing in the east, shining through the trees. And you hear... in this early dawn of the next day. Hi, Eric. Thanks for coming and watching us tonight. In the wee hours of the dawn, you hear up ahead, off in the distance, a bit off to one side, to your left side, this faint. And it sounds like multiple dogs, all kind of. It sounds very mournful.
It does.
What would you both like to do?
I'm inclined to keep going. I mean, all of this is pretty normal.
Lovelace has given up the ghost and is all responsiveness right now.
As you continue pushing forward, you can just hear those mournful cries start to coalesce into almost a song as they all howl in just deep sadness to the stars above as the morning light is starting to shine through the trees. Lovelace, make a perception check for me.
Do 13.
You look over to the left towards that sound. Sorry, I'm taking control of your body for a second. But you look over. You can just see between the trees that there's 6, what looks to be 6 dogs, all kind of around a very crudely dug hole. And you see a bunch of like fresh green ferns spilling out of this hole, and there's something inside of it, and all these dogs are howling up to the stars above. You also notice it's for only a moment, and then it goes away. You see that network appear going towards that hole and kind of all around it, but you specifically see that the network, where normally it just kind of crisscrosses going in, chaotic directions, where that hole is, you almost see those lines veer off and create this strange like gap where the hole would be, as if the network is being like pushed away from that one spot.
That's enough to make Lovelace stop, lean up against a tree, just like off on the edges, far enough to not like be into business,
Okay.
and just like stop and watch.
Little creature.
I will stop too because I can be with Lovelace.
Okay, so you both stop, and you're just gonna watch Lovelace.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You watch as these 6 dogs, and they have this very, as the light is starting to shine through the trees, you can make out some color. They have a very like warm orangey coat, and their ears are very pointed and elongated, and you can see. You can see them howling up to the stars above, with the morning light coming through. And they do have what look to be on their kind of back of their elbows. There is a little bit of what look like really thick, maybe tufts of hair, or maybe almost like nails. Like they almost have like these extra little kind of horn-like claws coming out the backs of their knees. And their tails themselves, as they're drooped down very sadly between their legs, as they're they almost look like a lion's tail. They come out to just like a little tuft of fur, instead of being like a shaggy tail. But these dogs are howling up above, and you see some of them lean down, and they pick up what look to be like, one picks up like a collection of bones and gently places it in the hole. Another one goes over and grabs like a bundle of you can even catch it from this distance, like very fragrant flowers, as they pick those up and drop that in the hole. You do see one that kind of goes over and you just see what looks to be like some massive, disgusting, decayed something in its mouth, and it's just drops it down in the hole, and then it kind of goes down onto the ground and starts rubbing in the dirt where the that disgusting mass of whatever it was laying, all while just kind of
poor butt.
so all these dogs are just going through some sort of ceremony here with this little hole.
Have I seen something like this before?
You would recognize these creatures.
Okay.
These are blink dogs. So they are.
Oh.
They are. I mean, I don't know if little creature would know the specifics, right? But like,
Sure.
They roam these woods.
Okay. Cool.
They're the community to the north tends to use them. So.
Okay.
And yes, in fact, as you do see them starting to wrap up this little ceremony, they all turn and they start to dig and fill the hole in. By the time the hole is filled, they all let out one last mournful howl, and then you just see them slowly but surely turn one by one away from the hole and start to lope off into the forest. And then you watch as one by one they kind of pop into thin air, just disappear. And then you hear like a muffled far off in the distance, and you can see like a shadow of a dog just appear in the woods further away. And you just watch them lope off
I
as they
think
howl.
Lovelace, having stopped for any amount of time and like leaned up against a tree, at this point has fallen asleep.
Okay.
Just like propped up against this tree.
Yeah.
On a branch or something. And so it's just like would like wake up and like see something and then like fall asleep again. So it all has like very dreamlike quality. She's just gonna be asleep.
Okay. As you lie there against the tree asleep, eventually all the dogs disappear off into the woods with their distant howls. And little creature, you can just hear the soft sounds of Lovelace sleeping next to you, leaning against the tree.
Well, I will go over to the freshly buried mound.
Okay.
And take out one acorn from my pocket and push it down a few inches into the fresh dirt.
Okay.
And then probably nap myself.
Okay. Are you gonna nap on the grave? Or go over to Lovelace?
Honestly, it's probably cooler there.
Uh-huh.
Fresh earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you curl up, lie down on the freshly dug soil. Okay. So are you both just gonna take a long rest?
I don't know if this counts as being rested.
Okay. Well, some amount of time passes.
Short rest.
Yeah, sure. An hour
A
passes.
sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, 2 hours 2 hours pass, and you find yourselves kind of fluttering awake, and now the sun is out. It's probably mid-morning at this point, and you can see the bright sunshine coming down into this little patch of forest.
I think the thing that wakes up Lovelace is like a patch of sunlight just dodging all of the different like leaves and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Has like ended up like right on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, ugh. Like can't
Just-
really like get away from it.
Just like the first morning when you were in the woods, a similar thing happened. And yeah, as you try to like pull your head away and you find yourself finding a shadow, suddenly another beam of light hits you right in the face.
And I lose my balance at this point, and I kind of like stumble and catch myself.
Okay.
It's like the like falling part of like jerking awake, except I actually am falling.
All right.
I just like stumble.
Yeah.
Clearly look around.
And you see little creature on their back, mouth open, just snoring.
I can't disturb such a picture of perfect beauty. I think Lovelace is gonna like sit down, actually like rest in like a little bit of shade, rearrange her stuff, rebraid her hair, and like go through like her morning rituals, even though it's like midday and it like feels gross.
Okay.
It's like waking up after a party in a strange place.
Yeah. Okay.
Like anything to regain a sense of control.
As you are going through your ritual with the sounds of little creatures snoring there, braiding your hair, you see another one of those tendrils shoot out from under your feet, going towards that little mound, and then it just veers away.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with that. And I've given up, haven't you heard?
You see more tendrils from different directions, and they all pulse away from this gravesite.
Little creature, what do you do if you try to give up and it's not working? Answer me that, little philosopher, more like. Tromp over to the grave.
Okay.
Purely because I need to wake up little creature, not because I'm curious or pursuing this lead at all.
Mm-hmm.
No ulterior motives here.
Okay. What do you do with little creature?
Poke little creature with the stick.
Mm.
Hey,
What?
hey, I think we should get moving again.
As you're
Okay.
looking down at little creature, you see just from under little creature as they sit up what looks to be almost like an ethereal paw kind of reaches out from the grave and then is pulled back in.
Can I want to try to grab the paw before it can get away.
Go ahead and make a dex save for me to try to snatch it before it disappears.
Okay.
This is a reactionary thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think to see if Lovelace would like actually do this, or just like this is her impulse. Yeah, I think like she goes to,
Mhm.
and then just like freezes.
Okay. And it
Yes, it's like no, I've given up.
the paw goes back
I
in.
feel awful.
So, little creature, you just see Lovelace jolts
jerk.
forward and then stop.
Catch yourself.
You okay?
You know, I'm trying to give up, little creature. I'm trying my best.
Okay. Good. I mean, I think that's good.
What's happening? The hands.
Hands.
The hands.
There are 4 right here.
Yeah.
There were 4 last time too, but then I was wrong and there were actually 7. Are there 7 here now?
There were 5.
Oh, really? Where'd it go?
Gestures down.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Does it?
Zombie, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to eat it?
No, let's go.
See another paw,
Oh my god.
then get pulled down.
See, you saw that, right? You saw that?
Did I see that?
You look over, there's nothing there.
I didn't.
Something's weird about this grave, little creature. Something's weird.
Oh, sure. I've never seen blink dogs do that before.
There are lines go into it, but then they're going like, see that one over there? It's like it's like avoiding this place. It's like
Oh,
a
really?
furrow of a tree, just an eddy in a river. Something's caught here, or not caught here. It's like an island in a river.
I start digging.
Okay.
Just
Yeah. I mean, the soil pulls away really easily.
I will repocket my acorn if I find it.
Okay. Keep on digging. Pulling the dirt aside. Lovelace, you see little creature doing this.
Well,
Goes
I don't
deeper.
know all of y'all weird forest customs, but this would be very taboo from where I come from.
Oh, really? Huh. Keep digging.
The soil keeps pulling aside until eventually you pull, and Lovelace, as the dirt is getting as the hole is reforming and little creatures getting lower and lower, you do start to see paws kind of twisted and writhing
I don't
until
like those.
eventually little creature pushes aside the dirt and you can see a bit of orange fur, very kind of matted, covered in bits of dirt. And little creature, if you keep pushing, you eventually are able to expose what looks to be a bit of a blink dog body. And lovely, so you are seeing that kind of almost like writhing in and out of this corpse. You see this ethereal form of the blink dog kind of coming out and getting pulled back in. You see the head kind of go back in, and all of those lines are moving away from it.
Hey now. Just drops her stuff and like kneels down in front of this thing and takes the like head or whatever is exposed. It's like, hey, it's okay.
Okay, so you grab the limp head, and little creature, you just see Lovelace holding this now. I mean, it's kind of stiff, but picking up this head.
Oh, you're excitable, ain't you? Lots
And
going
you
on
see-
here. Lots going on here. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. You see the paws. They kind of reach out towards you, and they seem to start to connect.
I'm gonna grab or like reach
Okay.
out to one of them.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw for me as you grab onto the paw.
I would love to do that. 13.
Okay. The paw connects, and you feel your hand connect with it, and you see now this form writhing inside of the body. And as you're holding onto it, you see one of those tendrils as it's going towards the body, and just before it breaks away, it connects with you. And you start to feel and see this kind of spirit form of this dog starting to get pulled into your body. You keep holding on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna grasp out and like see if I can grab with my other hand one of these other tendrils.
Okay. Yeah. You reach down
I
and
gotta plug them together.
okay. You reach down into the soil and grab, and you see like 3 other tendrils just shoot out and all connect with your arm as you hold into the soil, and you almost feel a resistance there. And then you watch as this body of this soul of this dog is just sucked into your arm, and you feel it pass through your body, and you just see a pulse of light shoot off through the tendrils, going off somewhere into the distance, until eventually those tendrils seem to fade, and you're now just standing there holding thin air with your hand in the soil, and you no longer feel resistance between your fingers. And there's just this dead blink dog there that's been exhumed. Little creature, you do see that on this blink dog, there's these kind of large bulbous masses on its side. And you can see that on one of those elbows, the part of the body that's been pulled up out of the dirt, those little like horns that normally are just kind of little, they're usually like more pronounced on the male dogs. They've become almost limp and very long, and you can see little like barbs coming out of them, like some kind of strange tentacle just coming out the back of the arm.
Have I ever seen anything like that?
No. Well, make like a straight wisdom check for me.
Okay. 18.
Okay. The closest thing that you can think of, looking down at the body, and you can see that those kind of bulbous masses on the side, and that strange bit of appendage kind of coming off. Kind of some of the large hyenas you've seen that have been sort of distorted.
Oh.
But none of them had the little tentacle coming off of them.
Yeah.
But maybe the kind of bulbous pieces coming off this thing. It's hard to say.
Something's a little cursed about this.
It's hard to say.
No.
What do you both do?
That was weird.
Yeah, I agree.
And little creature, you initially weren't really seeing any of the tendrils or anything like that. But just before Lovelace made that connection and helped this thing through, you got a glimpse of it as it was passing through her body.
Oh.
And then a little wisp there at the end.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like the last bit of that helped everything really come together for me. But the first bit was weird.
It's come together for you, has it?
Well, it came together in you, I guess.
I don't like that. I don't like this. I tried giving up. But just seeing it stuck there. I just want to help people. And I'm doing the best I can, little creature. And just because it keeps going wrong doesn't make it my fault. Sometimes you can't win them all. I'm doing my best, okay?
I never said you aren't. Although, if what happened back in that clearing with the knoll and the hobgoblin is evidence of your best, like, you seemed pretty upset about that.
Yeah. I killed somebody who didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Because I thought I knew better. Because I
Okay.
jumped to conclusions.
Uh-huh. You seem upset.
Yeah, I
you do
think. Yeah. I'm upset.
Okay. So why did you make those choices?
I didn't think. I saw the path in front of me. It was so easy.
Oh. So you're really excited about doing hard things, but when it comes down to it, you do the easy thing?
Lovelace opens her mouth to argue, and nothing comes out. And then just slumps wordlessly. Starts reburying this dog.
That will help.
Takes a little bit of time, but you're able to get the grave reburied. Padded closed.
I will replant my acorn.
Okay. Goes in.
Which way?
That way.
Okay.
Wordlessly.
Alright, Lovely starts trotting off.
What do you do when somebody drops a truth bomb on you and you don't like it?
Little creature, do you start walking off, or are you...
Yes. But I stare down at that little hole in the dirt for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then go and follow Lovelace.
Okay. Alright, you both set off, back off into the woods for the day. And as the two of you are leaving, we can see behind Lovelace as she's walking away, those tendrils in the dirt pulsing out towards that gravesite and connecting once more. Alright, as you continue off into the day and the...
I might need to go back. I'm sorry. I mean, to go back and retrieve that acorn. That might have not been a good idea. Lovelace, hold on 1 second.
Okay. So, little creature, you go run back and grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
you find it. Pull it out.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. And then you
Let's carry on.
continue on into the day.
Little creature.
Yeah.
I've never gone back.
Do you want to?
No, I never do.
You never want to go back. Oh. Okay.
That's not quite what I mean. I mean, I never go back. To go back is to admit that you didn't do it right the first time.
Oh, that kind of going back. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, well, I'm learning so much about how to give up in new and exciting ways, I suppose.
Heck yeah.
Let's go boldly forth and surrender all of our dreams and ideals. Lay
Yeah.
crushed in the dirt.
All right.
Eventually, yeah.
So you continue going forward through the forest. Go ahead, Lovelace, roll another. Unless you want to, little creature. One of
Yeah.
you roll a d20 for me. Okay.
18.
At the end of the day, you come to a point where the terrain sort of drops down into a bit of a gully, and little creature, you kind of lead Lovelace through this little gully with steep hills on either side and the trees growing up. And as you are making your way down into this gully, you catch up ahead movement far up in a large tree. You see kind of in this twilight what looks to be large wings as something and leaves come cascading down through the canopy, and you hear and you can see what looks to be just an absolutely massive eagle sitting up in this tree. And then off on the neighboring tree, you hear another. And you can see just probably one of the largest nests. I mean, for a little creature, you've seen it before, but maybe Lovelace. Just a massive nest, bundle of sticks and leaves and down and all sorts of things just up at the top of this tree, where the top of this tree has essentially just been split and formed this massive basket for this eagle that's sitting up there, and the other one off to the side, which is scanning the forest below. What do the two of you do?
A wave.
Okay. Lovelace?
Little creature.
Uh-huh.
What do those things eat?
I imagine they eat, like, small creatures. Little creatures.
As you're saying that, little creature, Lovelace, you see the one that was sitting off to the side just look straight down at little creature. And it seems to kind of...
Not today, buddy. I'm busy.
Make a persuasion check for me. or animal handling. I'll let you do animal handling.
Okay, let's just see what. Well, animal handling is better. That's a whopping 9.
Okay. And the eagle leaps and folds its wings in as it starts to dart down between the branches of the trees towards you.
I would like to roll into the bushes,
Okay.
and if I might make a stealth check, that would be helpful.
Okay. Let's do an initiative roll
Okay.
for everybody, and we'll see if you can react before it gets to you.
Well, get a new character.
Let me see. I actually have to look up what these initiative bonus. Okay. Yeah. Oh god, I rolled really high. What did you get, little creature?
24.
So you get to go first, then the eagle, then Lovelace. So go ahead and make that stealth check.
Okay. 26.
26.
Yeah, and that'll be my bonus action.
Okay.
And yeah, pull out my sharp bow and shoot it just because like this is more than I wanted right now.
Okay, go for it. Roll an attack with advantage.
Okay. 24.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
That's 10 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. Okay.
And do I want to do? Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll mark it as my favored foe.
Okay.
I learned so much about what little creature is here.
So that was 10 points.
10 points.
Okay. So you tumbled into the bush, and it completely lost sight of you. Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
Yeah. So that's an additional 4 points of piercing damage because it's my favorite foe.
Got it. Okay. So you rolled off into the bushes, and it lost sight of you as it's coming through the trees. Lovely. So you're just standing there, and suddenly little creature's gone, and then you just hear a thunk and see an arrow, and it hits this eagle as it, and it kind of tumbles a bit in the air. Yes.
I'm sorry. An additional 2 piercing damage on top of that because I have the bow thing.
Okay.
It should be +6, not +4.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that hurt the eagle really bad. Anything else for you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. It is going to make one. Is it going to fly straight at you, little creature? And it is just going to try to. It's just going to try to snatch you up. So,
Okay.
I need you to make either strength check, strength athletics, or an acrobatics check. Flies down and tries to just pick you up.
23.
Okay, let me do its. No, got an 11. So its claws just right next to you as it tries to snatch you up, and it pulls up at the last second. If you want, you can make an attack of opportunity as it flies away from you back up into the trees.
No.
Okay, Lovelace.
No.
Do you want to do
Got a
anything?
big message.
As the eagle pulls up and it's looking like it's going back up. You're not sure exactly what its next move is, but it definitely pulled away from little creatures that tried to snatch them. Oh, you're muted.
I think I'm gonna trot over to where little creature still is.
Yeah,
I
you can
think.
you can see them. Yeah. Yes.
So I see. That's what they eat.
Yeah. We
Maybe
argue
should
about
have-
it sometimes.
Is that how you normally argue?
It depends. Sometimes people prefer that I use my words. Sometimes people don't understand my words.
Why don't we get out of here?
Okay.
And I think I reach down to take the little creature, and if you accept it, I'm gonna try to get you on my back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you leap on the back of Lovelace. And Lovelace, what are you doing? Are you just taking off? Okay.
Yeah.
So, galloping through the brush and the sticks and branches as it snapping around you. You can see the eagle pulling up above the trees once more. It's looking down at you, and you see the other one up on the nest now. Its feathers kind of fluffing out, and it's looking very aggravated as you're galloping past this area. It looks at you, and lets out a large squawk, and it leaps off and starts to fly towards you. Let's do a quick, to resolve this. Go ahead, Lovelace, make an athletics check for me as you are trying to outpace these things and get away from them.
Love athletics checks. $26.
Okay, yeah. Yes, without issue, you are able to gallop past their nest and through the brush, and the brush overhead becomes too thick as they are gliding over the tops of the trees, squawking angrily at the both of you. You can see the one is having a bit of a difficult time flying with this arrow kind of lodged in its shoulder as it's flapping, but eventually they both peel away and head back, and you just hear their distant cries as the sun sets, and you are into another evening. Do you both continue to push through the night this time, or?
No, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I don't need to keep walking.
Okay. I've had a thrilling afternoon on Lovelace's back going very fast.
Yes. Very quick through the brush. Just
It feels great to go fast. I love going fast.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I want to go fast all the time. But the cities are all like, here's some gates. You need to stop here. Wait in line. Oh, yeah, just take these barrels down some stairs. Oh, yeah, stairs. It's great. Gotta go slow downstairs.
I don't know what
Alleyway.
stairs are.
Yeah, well, consider yourself lucky.
Okay, we can do that.
They're a bane on all decent folk.
Oh, is that who they worship?
Yeah, it feels like they do. They're in every building. And you need to traverse them in order to get anywhere.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that Bane was like that popular
Yeah, they.
in every
Really?
single house.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a rough time. Half listening.
I will integrate this into my understanding of the universe as we set up for camp tonight.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and both of you can make survival checks, or one of you with advantage.
I already have a die in my hand, and I rolled an 18.
Okay.
Which means 23.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, you're able to find a really nice campsite here. You find a very large collection of boulders, one of which is massive that kind of overhangs, keeping you out of sight, and if it were to rain, keeping you very dry. And in this little kind of nook, there is one boulder that is sort of bowl-shaped, and it's about the size of a little goblin, and it's covered in a big, thick mat of moss.
It's like it was made for me. Does it smell like goblin?
No, no, yeah, no. It's just moss. Yeah. All right. Okay, so you both bed up for the night. We don't have to worry about perception checks for this particular adventure for this. I don't want to get too bogged down in all that. But you wake up the next morning without issue. Another beautiful day in front of you. And you know you're getting very close, little creature. Probably by the end of the day, you'll be getting to your destination. But before that can happen, I need... Sure, little creature, why don't you roll another d20 for me, because Lovelace did too, and now you get to do two.
Ew.
Two?
Are you kidding?
No.
Roll a d20 for me again.
18.
We only
These are my
rolled two
options.
things, and they're the same number,
Okay.
just from different ends.
Okay.
What's happening?
Roll a d4.
What are they telling us?
3.
3.
Wait, I rolled a 3 when I had to roll the d4.
Okay.
It's
fun.
dated Lovelace.
Okay, this is actually perfect. As you're both getting ready to leave in the morning, you're collecting all your things. Little creature, you suddenly get this just wonderful smell of flowers, so strong, wafting from kind of the other side of the boulder.
My hat's beginning to wilt, and that smells fantastic. I would love to have that smell as my hat today.
It's probably a trap.
Trap.
Nothing smells nice. Sorry,
You are
Oh,
so
okay.
weird.
Oh, I'm weird. You're the one
Yeah.
hanging out in the trees and not telling folks to not kill people when they ask.
Well, I didn't know what you wanted. I wasn't going to tell you to do something you didn't want to do.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell you to not pick flowers,
Okay.
even though I just did. But
I'm
I'm going back on that because I go back on things.
This little creature walks away. So you go to the other side of the boulder?
Yeah.
Okay. As you come around the other side of the boulder, you see like there's more boulders kind of stacked up on this other side with this one giant one that you were underneath. And you just hear the faintest sound, like trickling sound of water. And as you come around, you can see there's a little spring that's kind of shooting out from a crack in the boulder that's trickling down and going through this little creek that just goes off and into the forest. But surrounding this spring, you do see there are multiple of these massive pink, almost magenta flowers that are sprouting up and blooming all around this little spring that's just babbling. Lovelace, what do you do as the little creature just disappears going around the other side of the boulder?
Grumbles to myself, I think, just like, argument, like having arguments in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly angry at myself, of course, taking out on those around me. Packing up my things, picking flowers. Fine, I guess that's what you do in the forest when you don't have anywhere to go. Just pick flowers. And then eventually follow. It's like, I hope they do fall in a trap. And then we'll see that I was right.
All right, so
That one of the flowers are going to eat them.
So sorry, I missed that. What'd you say?
I bet one of the flowers are going to eat them.
As you're saying that and you come around the side of the boulder, little creature, what are you doing as Lovelace comes around the side? Like, does she see?
There's a little dance of delight first.
And then I call out in Sylvan, hello, do these belong to anyone? May I have just one for my hat today?
Okay. As you say that, there's a gurgle and a bubble where that spring is, just kind of, and then you see as the spring kind of bubbles up, and you see this little head pop out with this brilliant purple pink mask with all sorts of green designs running throughout it on a tiny little creature. Kind of almost looks humanoid. But as they pop up, you can see that their skin is like just this strange, very dark green coloration, almost black. Like only when the light catches it, you get little glints of green, almost like an iridescent crow's feather. But it's all just one form as they pop out of the spring with this little mask on, and they look at you.
Hello. Is this your garden?
And they pop out of the spring and a light onto the rock, and you see little bits of water start trickling down the sides of this boulder, and they just start to kind of awkwardly walk along the mossy rock towards you.
I will get down. How small are we talking? Are we talking like a few inches?
What is that? I don't know. Like 8 inches or something. 6 to 8
Okay,
inches,
cool.
yeah.
Well, yeah, then I will get down like on my stomach and just kind of prop my head up next to it.
All right.
Hi.
As little creature gets down, Lovelace, you now see coming out from around one of the boulders this little humanoid form with this pink and green mask. walking out up towards little creature, and they just kind of stand there and put their hands on their hips.
Can you understand me?
All of this is in Sylvan.
They
Okay. May I have one of your flowers?
Are you holding your hands out?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Holding hands out.
I'm gonna go pulling out of another pocket.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of herbs and like a few mushrooms.
Mhm.
I am going to pick out some herbs that I know I picked up way on the other side of the forest
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and offer them
Okay.
to.
So I kind of make a survival check for me. I'd like, this is kind of a
Okay.
weird way of doing it, but I'm picturing it's like, let's see, like, you know, what did you find? Like, how enticing
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
to this?
I'm pulling this from my herbalism kit.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. Survival, you said?
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
You see them like gingerly kind of tiptoe up to your hands, and they have to get up on their tiptoes to see down into your hands. They kind of push their little hands on yours to kind of bring your hands down, and they lean forward and they start pushing aside the things. And they seem to get excited as they see something, and they grab it and hold it up, and it's just like one kind of big dried mushroom that you had in there, and they hold it and put it on their head, and you watch as it seems to suddenly like rehydrate as it, and then little mycelia just kind of down over the head, and then form this like almost mane of roots that just cascades down the back.
That's so cool.
And then they gesture to one of the flowers.
Thank you.
So I will pick one that looks like it would suit my head well.
Okay.
I will pick that and exchange it for the slightly wilted one that is currently on top of my head.
Okay. As
Lovelace
yeah, go ahead.
proceeds forward,
Okay.
kneels down,
Okay.
and says in, I think like to herself, she said, "Oh, I haven't done this since I was a kid." Cultural. And then in like this like really heavily accented Sylvan,
Mm-hmm.
may I also have a flower? And like really formal.
Yeah, like, and then they hold their hands up towards you.
I will open up Kidan's healer's kit.
Ooh. Okay.
It probably has some like needles
Okay.
or like bandages, less like nature based.
Yeah.
Maybe a cool vial.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
tiny vial.
Antiseptic.
So this is, I guess this is a persuasion check, because I would say like medicine, but you didn't pick out all the medicinal pieces. That was something Kadam did, right? Or
Mhm.
purchased. So this will just be a straight persuasion roll, unless
Can it be religion? I mean, it's +0 either way, but I like
Yeah.
it being religion. It's like
religion. Okay.
I'm culturally Sylvan, I guess technically.
Right, and
but,
like you're trying to like think about what would. Sure. Do you
Yeah.
do you grab something specific from the kit,
Um,
or you're just displaying it?
they seemed pretty happy to root through
Okay.
little creatures.
Yeah. Go ahead. Religion check.
Okay, this is just flat d20. 12?
They look down, and then they do the same thing, kind of push your hands down a little more, and they like pull open some of the flaps, and they start rooting around, pulling out like a needle. You see them kind of do like a fake fencing motion with it, put it back, keep going through. What would be in a healer's kit? There'd be like needles, there'd be probably like gauze of some kind.
Yeah, some rolled bandages. Probably some kind of like burn cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some kind of antiseptic.
Mm-hmm.
Like moleskin, maybe, for like blisters.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Honey.
Honey. Oh, honey for. I mean, I've
Honey is it's a antimicrobial.
okay.
Along
Yeah.
with
I think what they.
garlic.
I think. Ooh. Okay. Then maybe there's some garlic in there as well. Sure. So they are going through, and then eventually
Ooh,
they
Kadam's
find
not had that thought.
they find this little vial of honey and then some garlic cloves, and they pull it out, and I mean, they don't have really facial expression. They have this little mask on, but they kind of like rear back, and they kind of go like this, and they take the little vial and set it down on the stone, and they have to like sit down and put their legs around it to hold it with their feet, and then grab the cork and boom, pull it off, almost teeter and fall over, and then hold on to it and hug it, get up, and you see them like, and then they like look down at the cork that's on the ground now, and you put the cork back in, thump. And then they gesture to one of the flowers.
Lovely. Well, so how big are these flowers in relation to like a non-little creature?
So, how big do you think little creature's head is? Like it's like a.
I'm thinking they're the size of like, I don't know, a 4-year-old.
Okay. So. But human heads are weird, right? Because they're kind of like, they get kind of big.
Yeah.
The point is, we'll say
comes
that the diameter of the flower is maybe. What with that? I don't know what the diameter of a head is, but it's a little smaller than like your average human head, right?
Okay, you know what?
So it's very large.
I'm just gonna put it on my head too. It's gonna be big on little creature, and it'll be just like a little jaunty.
You have a fascinator. That's what they're called when they're not like a full head-sized hat.
Okay, so
yeah, we're flower head team.
You put this
flower head give up team.
We're gonna have to update the art for Lovelace. You put the pink flower on your head, and you both now have these flowers on your heads, and they look brilliant and fresh. They smell wonderful. There's definitely a little bit of pollen that kind of cascades down over both of your faces, so like your eyebrows and your lashes kind of get this yellow like sparkle tint to it. But yeah.
Wow, I did this ironically, but I'm really enjoying this.
Isn't it
really
nice?
This is really nice.
And now we both smell good too.
Yeah, this smells great.
Thank you so much. I say to the little one.
You look back, and they're gone. And it's just the babbling brook with the flowers.
It's like they were never here. I'm sorry I said that I hope that the flowers would eat you.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah. Yes. No. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
Were you angry?
Yes, but not at you. I'm mad at myself.
I'm gonna continue on.
As you continue on, you both feel just really good today as you set off into the day. And you both get a Charm of Heroism. Which I gotta look it up, but it's basically like you can essentially, like, as if you had a potion of heroism. Like, so if you look up a potion of heroism, you can essentially add that to your inventory. So yeah.
I still have a Charm of Dark Vision too.
Do you?
Double blessed. Yeah.
Double blessed. How many of that do you have left? Because it was like 3 uses.
Just one.
Or
I had
just
3
one.
and I used it twice.
Hey, who knows? Maybe one day like something will happen where you lose your goggles and then you'll have to.
No, I'm just into like, I don't know, gotta catch 'em all, but with like Fey charms.
Uh-huh.
That's really sweet, actually.
Yeah. I will talk to both of you after the show about the Charm of Heroism, just because I want to look it up. I think I'm. Oh yeah. The charm allows you to give yourself the benefit of potion of heroism as an action. So you can.
What does Potion of Heroism do? I've never been able to remember, but that's okay.
You get 10 temporary hit points for 1 hour, and you're under the effect of a blessed spell. That's
I've already forgotten.
pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so with that, as you head off into the forest and make your way towards Little Creature's friend, about late afternoon as the day is passing by, Little Creature, you notice at first, a lot of the forest as you're moving through, you suddenly see just dead leaves, like, all over the ground, in a way that's not normal. And looking up, you can see trees starting to look bare, like as if it were late fall.
Yeah.
And the leaves on the ground they've like turned, to reds and oranges. And a lot of them are at this point just dead and brown. As you start going further into this portion of the forest, Lovelace, you start to notice it as well, that multiple of the trees now just look like as if it were fall going into almost early winter. Some of the trees just don't have any leaves on them.
Is it still hot?
Yeah, it still feels like summer out. The temperature hasn't really changed. You also notice as well the underbrush looks brown and dead. The ferns are all shriveled up, and the forest itself is just getting more and more in a kind of depressed, almost winter-like state.
Someone's been fucking around.
This isn't normal.
Can I detect portal?
Yeah. You focus and reach out. Don't sense.
Yeah, Lovelace.
Yeah.
You see Little Creature go down onto their knees and push their hands into the soil. And for a moment, they are utterly still. Not blinking, not breathing. Just a statue.
And Little Creature, you don't detect any portals. You also, your thoughts start to get muddled. Like, there's, you're starting to feel not, like almost like an out-of-body experience. Like you're not connected. It's feeling weird. And you're feeling almost like you're, like you're losing a connection with yourself. It's very strange. It's not fully there, but...
I pull out,
yeah.
pull back.
That feeling is lingering. It's not as strong, but it's lingering.
You okay there?
No, this isn't good. This isn't good. We should go find the Song of a Pileated Woodpecker. Are our hats still okay?
Yeah, your hats are okay.
Okay. I'm gonna take off at a fast pace.
Okay.
Lovelace?
I easily keep pace with you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So Lovelace kind of trots and Little Creature's like running through the forest. Again, this is at the end of the day, Little Creature, you can sense you're getting very close. You start to recognize, despite the now completely barren trees at this point, but you start to pick up on, I recognize that tree, I recognize this hill, and you see up ahead through the barren forest their tree that they reside in. All of the leaves are missing. It almost looks more twisted in on itself. And she lived in this beautiful oak, this massive oak that just extended up and out with these huge heavy branches that kind of pushed everything out away from it and just created this beautiful domed canopy. And now it's all almost like twisted in on itself. As you're running towards it, unless, I don't know, do you continue to scurry towards it?
Yeah.
As you're scurrying towards it, both of you can just faintly hear up ahead.
I go find her.
Okay. You both go sprinting ahead and come into this somewhat clearing with all the dead underbrush and leaves, and everything is crunching as you're moving through. And that crying is getting a bit louder. And as you get to the base of the tree, you can see there's a figure just hugging one of the branches, lying down. You can't see their face. You just see their back, and their legs kind of draped over the side, and they're just shuddering, and you can tell that the crying is coming from them.
I climb the tree. Song of the Affiliated Woodpecker, are you okay?
Okay,
What's
so
wrong? What's been happening?
you start to climb the tree. As you get up to the base of the tree and you start to grab on and make your way up, you see some of the lower branches, they start to angle towards you. And you hear that sobbing kind of and the figure turns on the branch, and Lovelace, you can see this feminine form, very like lines of bark running through the skin, and they're almost like part of the tree themselves. But much like this big oak, their face looks a bit twisted and like pulled in tight. The lines of the bark are deep and furrowed on the face, and you can see some extra growths of branches coming off the shoulders and at the elbows, and you even see on one of the elbows, one of those branches seems to have kind of become a bit limp and more flesh-like. But she turns and looks down at you, little creature, as you start to climb. Go away! Go away! What do you both do?
Stop.
I'm at the base of the tree. I'm looking to little creature for guidance here, just like I always look for Tiki Dom.
Do you're just looking at little creature right now?
I think I might be like a little bit more like situationally aware. Like, are we gonna be surrounded by wolves in a second?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think like take a look around the clearing.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Oh.
25.
Okay. So
I am good at being a bodyguard, if nothing else.
So as she's looking down at little creature just at the base of the tree starting to climb has stopped. You can see the brow furrowed, all those lines seem to almost be coming more and more furrowed and intense as her face is starting to twist in kind of this scared anger looking at little creature. Lovely. So you look around the clearing and you barely make out the faint pulses of those ethereal network under you.
Oh no.
And they are all just twisting away from all of the trees, none of them making connections, just and they seem to be flickering, almost like on and off. And as you look back towards the little creature at the base of this tree with these massive roots coming up out of the ground, you see something moving under the roots. And it's not light. There's something more material there.
Yeah.
You see a bit of fleshy pink under the roots. And it's just kind of pulsing very gently. Little creature, as you're standing there looking up at her, she looks at you. Please go away. I am so hungry. I don't want to hurt you. I can't get enough. And
I have food?
no, we need more.
Little creature, I think
And
you should come down now.
The branches on the tree are starting to, and you see forms almost starting to twist on the lower branches. Please leave. What do you both do?
Creature, it's time to go. Let's figure this out from a distance.
Back up some.
Okay.
Can I, this feels like a bit of a big ask. Can I cast Beast Sense on her or the tree?
Okay. What does that do? I mean, yes, but what does it do?
I touch a willing beast.
Okay.
I know she's not a beast.
Yeah.
For the duration of the spell, you can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to your normal senses.
Okay.
While perceiving, you gain the benefits of any special senses possessed by that beast, though you are blinded and deafened to your own surroundings.
Okay. Is there anything about if the beast is unwilling, or it has to be willing?
It has to be willing.
Okay. Make a persuasion check, because as you're reaching towards her, like the tree, I guess.
Yeah, they're the same.
Yeah, I mean, you can see her going, please, what do you leave?
So that's an 11.
I told you to leave. And you now see all of those lower branches start to, and they seem to form weirdly twisted humanoid forms that, and they plop down into the dry leaves. And these strange twisted pods kind of rise up. You see little bits of liquid sort of dripping off of them. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Yes, this has all just been a huge ploy to do a Snickers commercial.
Just feed her Snickers, that'll do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us.
Nathan, I'm so happy. that you've been able to get back to your happy place of body horror.
Yay! It's gotta, it's gotta show up at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I am so happy though that the first part of the episode got to be so like cute and like whimsical and
Yeah, that ruled. Thank you for letting me like be teenager emo and bouncing off of you.
it was great.
Yeah.
I will say, just I don't want to take full credit for all of those encounters. Some of those encounters I took from Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I mean, they were modified, but I've been reading through that book, and there's a lot of really fun stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there to give credit where credit's due. I'm more of just an
This is a
actor,
commercial.
but yeah, it is, right? I know. What the hell am I doing? Go buy a Snickers. No, don't. All right. Well,
We aren't getting paid though.
yeah, we're not. No, I just felt the need to give that credit because. Yeah. All right. Well, yes, emo teen in the whimsical world. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.